Morning. I'm wearing my good flannel, so that means I'm putting together a video today. I'm in the garage and I'm going to be working on trying to automate the electric fan that I put into the old Jeep here. I've been driving it for over a year now with just a toggle switch, which works great whenever you remember to turn it on. There have been a couple of times where I was cruising up a trail and looking at rocks and not paying attention to the temperature gauge, and it got a little warm. So I want to put an automatic switch in there so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But first, to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Dan Shields Fabrication, for whipping up this custom DeWalt tool hanger bracket. Quality work, really fast, and it's got this nice little bit holder feature, because all of those would just be somewhere in that mess or in tool bags, wherever. So this solves that. I get to keep the bits that I can still find. Can't find the 1/4 inch. And now I've got somewhere to hang my DeWalt tools. So yeah, to all of my tens of viewers that are going to watch this video, go over to Dan Shields Fabrication and check him out. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description. So what are we looking at for the Jeep? This is what I've got. For $9, I got this off of Amazon, D-Well. And for the Jeep, I got a 38 millimeter. I think my Falcon is also a 38 millimeter, and these were cheap enough that I went ahead and bought 2. Hopefully that fits the Falcon. This is it. It's 1/8 inch NPT tapped. And then for the thermostat switch, rather than getting one of those cheap ones, I spent extra money on a Spall brand 195-TS, 195 degree thermo switch. So hopefully this functions better than the cheap ones that you find on Amazon. Every review I've looked at says that they don't turn on until like 220 degrees. And I'd rather it turn on closer to 200 degrees. So unfortunately, this is 3/8 NPT. So it's not going to thread in there without some modification. As you might have seen in previous videos, I've got a little mini mill. So rather than just drilling this open and digging into their little ground lug there, I'm going to take a 2-flute end mill and try to offset this more to where that wall of this thread stays where it's at. So I'll just plunge this 2-flute down, trying to keep that wall there, and then I'll run, I'll run this tap in there, and hopefully it works. Fitment, so far, I drained down the coolant just to basically the bottom of that top tank, so I could pull the hose off without splashing everywhere, and it's a little loose, but that is also probably a little stretched, so when I cut it back here, I'm hoping it fits good enough. It seems like it's the right size. I will also take calipers and take a measurement to see how much undersized it is. But we'll see, hopefully it doesn't leak, and if it does, I will, I don't know, order the next size up, I guess, which is probably a 40 millimeter, and take a look at that. So for now, I'm going to dig into this, and let's see where we end up. All right, I've confirmed 38 millimeter. So let's see what size this is. It says 38 millimeter on it. Focus, focus. And it's 36. And that says 38 if it would focus. And it's 36. Way to go, Amazon. I'm gonna check the size of, I guess, the other side here, and then that other one in that box, and then file a complaint. Ask to speak to the manager. This one's more of the same. Poor quality control. And it also says 38 millimeter. Lame. All right, so obviously I had to give up on that project. I went ahead and Filed the complaint, spoke to the manager, and initiated a return instead of them telling me to throw them away because they are actually trash. They want me to return them, so they're going to waste the packaging, the shipping fee, the gasoline to get them to their distribution center, so their distribution center can throw them away instead of me. I didn't bother trying to get another replacement set at 38 millimeter. And I didn't bother trying to purchase a 40 millimeter, hoping that that was also 2 millimeter undersized. I instead found the Cold Case brand and ordered 2 of those, which were twice as expensive, which still isn't too bad, but for whatever reason, Summit didn't have any stock, so I ordered it direct, and the cheapest shipping was $19 for ground UPS. I mean, I'm really starting to sound like an old-timer boomer here, but stuff is just ridiculously expensive anymore. So yeah, I paid 50-something bucks to get 2 $20 adapters that I'm going to have to drill a hole in and tap to 3/8 NPT for my thermo switch anyhow. So I brushed that off and went ahead and put the Jeep up and took the wheel bearings off of the passenger side here. There. And so I pounded them out of the hub and grabbed these bearings, which according to Summit Racing were the correct front wheel bearings for a 62 CJ-3B. Grabbed the outer race, and it would not even go past this larger outer lip. So the way these work is this is larger than the journal down there that the race gets pounded into. So if it's not fitting up here, it stands no chance of fitting in there. So grabbed my cheaper calipers just because everything's greasy, and discovered that these are about 17 thousandths of an inch, 17, 18, 19 thousandths of an inch larger than what I pounded out. So I called NAPA, figured, all right, there's still enough time in the day. I could probably get something done. They said, yep, we've got them. I drove up there. They said, well, we only have 3 SKF and then we have 1 off-brand. And I said, okay. So they brought them out, and what they brought out was this exact box. And I said, hold on. I've already got those and they don't fit. Fortunately, I brought the other bearing up there that I pounded out and these calipers and stuck them on there, and their boxes of BR35 outer races were also about 18 thousandths of an inch too large. So he cross-referenced the Timken number off of these bearings and said he could get them Wednesday. Quite a bit more expensive than these SKFs, but whatever. Told him to go ahead with that. My day is now done. I have gotten nothing accomplished, but on the way home, I stopped and found a 6-pack of Red Oak. So I guess that's going to be what I do for the rest of the day. Anyhow, that's all I've got. Not a very productive day, a fail of a video, and a now Jeep that is undrivable. So I don't know what the lesson is here. It's a lesson I've learned several times, and here I am again. Don't think I could have done anything different. So if you know how to avoid this kind of mess, let me know. Purchasing stuff off of Amazon, sure, that was my mistake. But purchasing SKF bearings from Summit Racing or NAPA, that would have been the same problem, and having that the wrong size, I don't know what to say about that. I think what that boils down to is back then, they had different options of locking wheel hubs on these old Jeeps. And I wouldn't think that that part would require the bearing hub to be any different, but here we are. And it's not very different. It looks like the bearing is actually the same, but that outer race is slightly smaller. So I don't know, maybe that's the lesson here is measure your parts because they're not all the same. I mean, I even went to several Jeep websites and they didn't offer multiple different bearings or anything. Jeepster Man, their website actually said confirm the bearing number. So maybe that's an indication. And the bearing number that they listed matched what I pulled out. So, I mean, they've been around. They've been through a lot of these vehicles. They probably know what's going on. Obviously, you know, they had the note on there. So either everybody's got it wrong except for Jeepster Man, or there were multiple hubs that had different bearing sizes. So that's it. I'm going to wrap this up, post it up, so 10 of y'all can watch this and be very bored for the whatever it is, 15 minutes that you watch. Take it easy. All right, Catfish Blues.
Take a little stroll